horrible. But that's to the euro, which is what I've got some of my expenses in. And in fact, the Polish zloty since then has increased against the euro. So quite to the contrary of what the fuck are you doing? You're trying to get in my way with that or something? You're gonna get a kick in the face. Certainly you're gonna get my source how do we allow me accept community over have you not good self and has increased against the euro. So quite to the contrary of what the fuck are you doing? You're trying to get in my way with that or something? You're going to get a kick in the face. So bastard. So anyhow, he's kind of put me off my stride a bit, hasn't he? That idiot. What's I saying? Stupid things to put you off your stride. I was talking about technology, wasn't I? Oh yes, planes. Planes and yeah. So not only can you not do supersonic anymore, there's no supersonic service anymore, but also you now have to get there ridiculously early to the airport. So you need to get to an airport, in some cases 2 hours before the flight, and if you don't get there 1.5 hours, there's a serious risk that you're going to be really stuck for getting on the service. So basically, when it comes to progress, some things go forward, some things go backwards. Trains, as far as trains are concerned, you've now got very fast trains. So you wouldn't have thought, would you, that when I was a lad, people did take the train because it was expensive to take the plane. But people, I don't think we were intended or we expected or anticipated that sometimes for some journeys you'd actually be faster with a plane journey, with a train journey, than with a plane journey, which is true, because if you have to get there like 2 hours early or 1 hour early, it's absolute minimum even for a journey inside the country. And for a train, obviously you want to be about 15 minutes early, so sometimes you might be there a half hour early and hang about. But if you've come from further away and you want to have a margin of time, but basically the same applies to airports. There are fewer airports, and then you've got to stay there anyway, 1.5 hours, much longer, and go through all sorts of checks. And then, of course, you've got to get from the airport to the centre of wherever you're going to, and usually the train takes you into a centre of a town or city, so you don't have to worry about getting, a lot of the time you end up taking a different train to get from the airport to the centre of the city that you're going to anyway, or taking a taxi or a bus or something else. So, let's take Moscow to St. Petersburg. You'd never have thought that you could do it in a similar length of time, because it's a 4-hour journey in a high-speed train. Whereas if you take it going from the office and you can work, because you've got a much more comfortable arrangement, so you've got more spacious seating, as long as you don't get what I got one time, a compartment full of very loud Orientals, Vietnam, who were completely differently behaved here to the way that they behave themselves in Poland, were very, very kind of comported in Poland. Here they were very loud. How that works, I don't know. Maybe they felt that it was what they needed to be in order not to get pushed about by the Russians, I don't know. But beware, that's a nice pop group. If you don't know them, learn about them. As they're now celebrating their 25th year. So that's half my life that they're celebrating now on my 50th anniversary. It's worthy of comment. So there we go. Some things go up, some things come down, and some things stay the same, some things change, as they say on the Matrix, and some things seem to be about to change dramatically, but exactly what they will be we will find out over the course of the year, I expect. Certainly the European Union have waded in with sanctions for Russia's intention to honour the stated intentions of the people of the Crimea. 37 comes this way, does it? I didn't know that. Let's stop and wait. That goes past my house, so from this point on I assume that I could take a 37 if I wanted it. Orlov Davidovsky, you see? The Eagle David Street. David the Eagle, that's a bit like Eddie the Eagle, but more Davidish, more suited to my person. So, just round that off, that discussion. The snow, which I filmed earlier, has basically, I'm not sure whether that looks like almost like hailstones on the ground there, but could they even be? I don't know whether it is or not. Yeah, it's just pieces of gravel that somebody's chucked about here. The gravel that they put for the roads, the grit. They look white in this light, but they're not really.